If you guys are looking for any cheap and reliable coins, check out MMOPO.com. Use the code PINGU at checkout to get 8% off. Guys, welcome to Season 3, Episode number 16 of the Derby Current Live. And to start this episode, we're currently second in the table, only by a couple of points, so hopefully we can make up that difference in this episode. However, I've got to make a decision on whether we play our first team in this game against Leicester, then have a bit of a weaker team against Barcelona, or do we play our second team and make sure we've got that first team fit and firing for the Champions League game? Because if we have the same kind of outcome as we did against Bayern Munich, we could very easily find ourselves into the semi-final of the Champions League. So I'm going to have a look and see what Bayern Munich's team looks like in terms of the signings they've made and the kind of quality they're looking at. I'm just going to see what the challenge ahead really is for us. I'm just going to try and find the Spanish league. There it is, Barcelona. And if the likes of, I don't know, if it's not the strongest team in the world, see, they've got like an aging Messi and an aging Lewandowski. Like only 70 sprint speed on that Messi now, but they have got like players like Trincao, Fati, and Dembele. Dembele looks ridiculous. Midfield wise, they've got Busquets aging, of course. Goretzka's ridiculous. Jorginho's okay. Ruben Neves looks incredible. So it might be a tougher game than the... Yeah, it is actually, yeah, because they got Frankie de Jong as well at 90 rated. It might be a tougher game than the Bayern Munich game, to be frankly honest. If you look at the actual ratings, you know, they've signed like Süle and Goretzka from Bayern Munich, and then they've got obviously 92 rated ter Stegen in goal. So I think the best thing to do is, I don't know, because we're so close to the Premier League, it's so frustrating. I just wish there was a clear and obvious way of doing this. If the Leicester game was on the Saturday, I'd probably use the first team, but because it's only a 2-day break, I just don't think that's enough time to get them back for the game. I really don't know. I wish I could like see into the future. I wish I had a bit of hindsight here to know what to do, because if I look at my second team, it's not terrible, but it's not fantastic. You know, we'll take out Knight for Bakayoko. It's borderline. I can keep Handanovic in goal because that won't affect fitness, of course. I think I have to use the second team, because if I use the first team and then against Barcelona the first team aren't fit, then it's just going to really annoy me. So I think this is probably the best we can do. I don't know if we have a left back. Yeah, we should have Max Lowe, shouldn't we? So the question is whether I put in Max Lowe on no sharpness and put Fosu. I guess we'd do that because that will make a lot more sense. Although Fernandes does have a little bit of sharpness, I just don't think it's quite enough to warrant starting over Max Lowe, of course. But yeah, I could maybe play with like a Jason Knight because he's got 96 stamina. They should be okay. Same with Max Bird. But I can always bring them off the bench. I think that's what I'll probably look to do. Here we are then against Leicester City. It is an East Midlands derby, of course, and Leicester are a pretty decent team. They are in the top 6, I think, in the league at the minute, so it's going to be a relatively tough game. We have gone for the second team. Whether we cost the 3 points, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, they've got Magnan goal, Justin, Zuma, Pau Torres, and Wijnaldum, then Ndidi, Rabiot, and Emre Can, then Jose Perez, Harvey Barnes, and Immobile up top. Obviously a very good striker indeed. We have got Tom Lawrence against his former club. It'll be interesting to see how Ida does actually from the start. He's got okay sharpness. I could have maybe started Danny Ings just because of the sharpness, but I don't know. I think we have to do this because we have to give the Barcelona game the best possible chance of winning, and by resting them for this game, they should be all fit. Bakayoko into Adam Ida. Can he get the start that we exactly need in this game? It's into the box now with the finesse shot. How's the defender not fouled me there? I don't know how that's not a penalty, to be frankly honest. He just... I could honestly... Like, he takes a shot and then Zuma just absolutely takes him out. Because, like, that's a penalty. Because if he doesn't take him out, then obviously Ida's going to be up to win that header, but he's not because he's just been taken out. And if we lose the game because of that, then I'm going to be very, very annoyed. Bottom to Sibley on the edge of the box. Can I slip it back to Ida to run into the box? trying to cut around Torres, the centre-back, but he's very good indeed. It's just super, like, I don't know, when obviously these second team players I've not used too much, it's really difficult, but we have opened it up here, and Louis Sibley does put us into the lead there in the 17th minute. Really important to get the first goal, especially in a derby game. Like, these games are completely different. It's like playing an away game. Well, it is an away game because we're playing at the King Power, of course, but it's like an away game, but even harder when you do play a derby on this game. So obviously every game's a derby for us because we're Derby County, but Louis Sibley does get the goal there, 5th of the season. It's just a bit of a shit. I still think back to that injury that he got in Season 1 for a couple of months, and it just knocked back his development. You know, if that injury didn't happen, then maybe you know, we wouldn't have signed someone like a Mason Mount because, well, Sibley would be about that rating already. Good inception there from Jack Harrison. Can I slip in Ida here through the middle? Can he get the goal with his weaker foot? Takes it with his right though. Thought he would have shot with his left, but we have made it 2-0 there in the 23rd minute, and I'm really, really glad that we did decide to use the second team. I was really worried they wouldn't be good enough against Leicester, but we've got into a good position now. Hopefully it's enough to get the 3 points. First goal for us, obviously, this season. And it'd be nice to get him a bit of run of form because he is currently 81 rated, you know, and he's only 22, I think. So that rate could easily hit like 85 by the end of the season if I play him enough and get him into a good development plan. Leicester on the attack here with Ndidi. Slips it into Immobile. Got to be careful not to concede with 13 minutes left to go. It's one of those situations where the game's not really done much in the second half up to this moment with Immobile, and now we have the danger of losing the 3 points if obviously we concede in the last 12. So we do need to be very, very careful indeed, and this is kind of the only issue with playing a second team is because of their match sharpness not being 100%. The last like 15-20 minutes, it's a bit of a challenge. Now we do need to either keep the ball and not lose it and give Leicester the goal. Chance here for Ings if he can get into the box. Can he go around the final defender? He's got it off him with the shot now, off the post. I think I accidentally held the left trigger then. Now we go full time against Leicester. We do narrowly win 2-1. Got a bit tight there towards the last 10 minutes there, just trying to prevent that last goal to lose the 3 points. But obviously Ida and Sibley with the goals, which is nice to see, of course. And yeah, now it means we have a fully fit team for the Barcelona game. So obviously getting those 3 points in the Premier League is so critical. It'll be very interesting to see if we do move into first in the table, but we do have the home game against Barcelona. Oh, I'd never thought I'd say that in Season 3 especially, but we have actually gone top by a point. I'm just going to see, Liverpool's next game is against Chelsea, which is obviously quite a tough game. However, Chelsea are down in 10th, so it's I don't know, it's a funny old game because there's like teams like Fulham and Brighton in the top 10, but Chelsea aren't, and yeah, I don't know. I think Blackburn Rovers are obviously that team that just everyone beats, and it's quite an easy season with them only having 13 points, but then it's quite tight from the rest of them throughout the league, and yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if we can actually somehow miraculously win the Premier League in our second season in the Premier League. Is Innocent Yuan actually saying he wants to play in the... I'm not even going to bother to speak to him because he's 62 rated, and I'm just not going to play that against Barcelona, funny enough. But as you can see, we do have a fully fit team for this game. Artur Cabral up front. I'm just going to check. The only issue with not playing your team is their sharpness goes down by about 10, I want to say. It looks quite a major amount that it's gone down, but yeah, bench-wise it's a little bit of an issue as well because Bakayoko can't play now. Just gotta love that music, the Champions League intro. Again, I'm hoping that I'm not going to get copyright strike for it. I didn't even actually think of Barcelona's kits, actually. I could have maybe changed them, but they've gone for the all black, and it is a very tough team indeed. They've got Ter Stegen and Cole, who's 92 rated, Grimaldo at left back, who I think was about 87. Luke Shaw at right back's a bit of an odd one, but still he's about 83, 84. I think we were actually looking at him in the transfer window in January, of course. Sula's about 88, Lenglet's probably about 87, De Jong's 90, I think Messi's gone down a bit because of his age, same with Lewandowski, but obviously still very good finishers of the ball. Ruben Neves really good as well in the midfield, and Trincao and Dembele out wide. It's going to be very interesting to see how we do, because the Bayern Munich game was incredibly easy. But I was editing the Bristol City game, and in comparison, it's just crazy that game was so difficult in comparison to the Bayern Munich game. And you can kind of feel, I don't know, it's just like Josrak now just feels ridiculous. Like it feels like our sliders have been turned up. Like the way our players move on the ball is just super fluid. I don't know if that's just because I've played that last game with the second team, but you never know. Honestly, we beat Bayern Munich. Why can't we beat Barca? So on the attack here with Messi, tries to slip in Lewandowski, but Felipe is there. Not the greatest of passes. Out to De Jong, now to Messi. Would have probably been nicer to put Barca in their more conventional kit, but we'll have to wait and see what we do. In the away leg, Lewandowski's just given all the freedom in the world, but Handanovic does make the save with his foot there. Chance here for Messi on the edge of the box. Goes through for Lewandowski. You could just, it's just so painful. It's horrible when you come against these incredible players because they're just impossible to stop. And Lewandowski with the goal there. I thought I covered it. I genuinely thought I did enough there to stop. Like if I blocked, just so tight at that near post. And now Barcelona do have an away goal, and they've kicked off the game with a 1-0 lead. Like that's the thing that in the Bayern Munich game, obviously we got the 2 early goals, and then it just completely changes the dynamic of the game. But now Barcelona have scored first. It'll be interesting to see what does happen. Trincao on the attack here. Very good youth player, of course, on this year's game. Tries to slip it into the box. Messi with the shot and Messi with the goal. I don't know what Bielik was doing there, honestly. And Lionel Messi does make it 2-0, and 2 away goals is massive, you know. Now you're looking at a very difficult scenario, and I just don't quite understand why Bielik was so flat-footed there and just made it so difficult for us. And now to realistically go through in this game, we have to score at least 2 goals in this game. Like if it's not level going into the away leg, it's going to be very difficult, because you could see the difference in the one that we did play against Bayern. It's into Cabral. Can he get the goal? Yes, we can. That's a slight weight. There's a slight weight off my shoulders because we've got the goal to at least break them a little bit. And I know I can score now, but still need to score a couple of goals and get us in. I'd like at least a 1 or 2-0 lead going into the game at the new camp. Chance here for Trincao. It's about player selecting, which is super difficult, and they have just turned me so easily there, and they have made it 3-1 and 3 away goals. It's just not looking good for us. Like defensively, we're finding it really difficult against Barcelona, and maybe focusing on the Premier League. Like if we end up losing this game by I think 4 goals, then I just focus on the Premier League and absolutely bin off the away leg, because there's no real chance that we bring it back. And you know, we're currently at the top of the Premier League by 1 point, so it's absolutely critical that we do win every Premier League game. We've got it into Sarr though. I don't know why Cabral's not running into the middle there, and that's really frustrating. There's off time against Barcelona. It's currently 3-1, and yeah, you know, having 3 away goals, you know, it kind of eliminates any away goal that we get in the next leg. It is only a 2-goal deficit, so I'm being quietly confident. Maybe I should have played someone like a Bakayoko in this kind of game. Although I think I probably am right to play Knight, because obviously try and be proactive in the home leg and then put a Bakayoko in for the second leg. Intercepted here by Ismail Sarr. If we can get a goal to make it 3-2, then that will really open this game up. It's out wide. I don't know why is Jaswiak not reading that? Like, come on, game. It's into Cabral, cross the face of goal to Sarr. This game just triggers me. Like, I know he's 92 rated, but come on, Sarr. It's on a plate. It's on an absolute plate, and he's just... Oh, come on. Like, 9 times out of 10 you score them, but for some reason he just... Oh, just head it straight at ter Stegen. Oh, it really annoyed me. I thought that was goal. That was 3-2 guaranteed there, but apparently not. Chance here for Messi. I've got to be careful with Felipe here. We do very nicely to prevent the goal, but do give it straight back to them. Now through for Lewandowski. Great save though from Handanovic. Had to save that if we're going to, you know, there's no way we go through if we concede another goal in this game, and we have to keep it within at least 2 goals. to give us any chance at all, because you never know what can happen away from home. Ings with the ball here. If he can get us a goal, then that would be lovely. It's into Jason Knight now. Out to Ismail Assar. Back to... wanted that to Ings, but Cabral with the shot and Cabral with the goal to make it 3-2. And, you know, we have to be getting this deficit down as much as humanly possible. Even if we keep it level. I'd say if we keep it level for the away game, happy days. But even now I'm quite happy to keep it at 3-2. If that's how the game ends, then there's a slim chance we can go through. At the Nou Camp, obviously, if we pick up an away goal or two, like scoring goals isn't an issue for us. I think it's just defending them. Great tackle though from Bielik there. We've gone to 4-4-2 now with Ings and Cabral as the front two, just to try and get us some goals. And it seems to be working at the minute. I don't know if it's because they don't have a defensive midfielder, and obviously our two strikers have a lot of freedom now. Why is the ref not blowing it? This is just one of those things that the computer does and cheats. Now we go full time against Barcelona. We do only lose by 1 goal. I know it's 3 away goals, but if we can win by 2 goals at the Nou Camp, then we go through. The first 25 minutes, Barcelona just absolutely peppered us with goals. So I'm not too disheartened. I do like the fact that that was quite a competitive game and felt like ultimate difficulty. You know, if we had like a Felipe for another really good centre-back, then maybe we could have made the difference in that game and got a positive result, but that's the squad that we are dealing with at the minute. And yeah, I'll take a 1 goal. You know, it keeps us in the game for the game against the Nou Camp and makes it interesting. I'm almost tempted, because of the way Barcelona were moving around so quickly, I'm almost tempted to put Fosu Mensah into the first team for that next game, especially with us being away from home. I do like Felipe, but I think that pace did cost us a couple of goals in that last game. So I think against Everton we may play... I think we'll play our second team again, because there's still only a 2-day break. Like, I don't know why... I don't know. It's just so frustrating that there's only a 2-day break before each of the Barcelona games. But yeah, we'll play our second team again. It worked against Leicester, so hopefully Everton are a team that we do generally do quite well against. So I think Felipe does also want to play this game, so for morale-wise, it's a good idea to put him in, and then we can obviously use Fosu Mensah in the Barca game. Here we are then at Goodison Park against Everton, a really nice stadium, of course, one of those proper old and lovely stadiums. They are kind of dying out, but yeah, looking at the Everton team for today's game, they've kind of done this thing that they always do, is just not play any defensive midfielders. You know, they've got Thomas Muller, Sigurdsson and Baningimim, I think that's how you say his name anyway. Little bit of an annoying thing, they're playing their own player against us. Adara Bayo is on loan at Everton, and he is playing in the defence. They do have Pickford in goal, John Joe Kenny, Tapsoba and Max Aarons. It's not, you know, it's quite a young defence, and it'd be interesting to see what kind of rating they're looking at, but I'm hoping we get the same kind of situation where we always just absolutely beat Everton because of that midfield three of, you know, Sigurdsson and the defensive midfielder who isn't that great. So yeah, it should be a easy enough game for us, and I'm hoping we can get the 3 points again and stay top of the table. Chance here in the box for Berardi, and there's 1-0 against Everton, and it's against the run of play, to be frankly honest. We've had 1 or 2 shooting opportunities to open the scoring, but it is Everton to get that start, and yeah, especially away from home, getting that first goal makes it much harder for us, so it'll be interesting to see how we do reply. Well, like to Benrahma inside to Muller, very good finisher, but a wonderful save. That might be save of the season. I'm still amazed at what they did with Carlo Ancelotti. Like, who signed off and allowed that to happen? Because that is honestly one of the worst models I've ever seen. For a, you know, multi-billion-dollar company to accept that as a outcome, it's a bit ridiculous. Like, if you gave me enough time, I could probably make a better Ancelotti model. But clearly EA have just rushed it, and it looks pretty poor, but Pickford makes a save there to keep the ball out. Things with the ball here, I've got to bring him on off the bench to potentially get us the goal. Also Mason Mount coming off the bench, and big gap forming here for him to run into and score the goal. It's just a little bit frustrating that I had to bring on Mason Mount, because there's a slim chance that he might not have the fitness for the next game, but hopefully he will. But you know, I still want us to get points in the Premier League, so we had to do that, and I don't know why, to be honest. I've done that move maybe like 3 or 4 times this game, and I don't know, maybe it's just Mason Mount's attack and positioning that did lead to that goal. Everton with a bit of possession for the minute, and it is into Inaki Williams now. Clark does win it though. Now we can get it up to Mason Mount, and hopefully Danny Ings can create a opportunity for us, although it does go out to Harrison. Can run inside though. Can he get a finish though? Really, like, wow. How has that got in with Jack Harrison to make it 2-1? Very, very, very important goal in this season, and it's come out of literally nowhere. I thought Pickford would probably just parry it, but it's just gone through the goalkeeper there. I don't know. It was very powerful, but I don't know how that's gone in. I just need to have a look and see. Does it go through Pickford? I think it's just a really good finish, to be honest. I don't think the keeper can do much about it. We do have one more substitution to bring on. I'm just trying to think what would be the most beneficial. Obviously, just trying to keep on to this lead. Maybe bringing on someone like a Fernandez on for Max Lowe at left back, just so we get that bit more defensive cover. It would be nice to get an extra goal just to ensure the 3 points, of course, because you never know, in the last 15 minutes the computer can literally create a chance out of nothing. Mason Mount here with the shot into the back of the net, and that is what I wanted. I wanted that, and we got it. And that is a very good substitution to bring on Mason Mount off the bench to get the win. You know, if we don't win this game, the gap can go to the gap can basically form too big. At the minute, it's only, I think, basically we need Liverpool to drop points in a game, and we just win all of our games to hopefully get the title. But if we lose this kind of game, then I think the title's probably over. Good tackle there from Bogle into Mount. Harrison can use his pace now that there is a 2-goal deficit. Obviously the defenders do just disappear. Can slip it across with Danny Ings, get that goal difference up, and that might make a massive difference. The goal difference is one of those really really tight areas at the minute. I think there's only 1 or 2 goals between us, Liverpool and Manchester City, so if we can nick like 1 or 2 more goals in these kind of games where we do win, to get that positive goal difference, then that's great. Mount with the ball here. Can he get his hat-trick off the bench? He's running into the box with the shot now. There we go, we do make it 5-1. And as I said, the goal difference is really, really critical. And to get a +4 in this game against Everton, really, really good. And yeah, Everton are one of those teams that once you do start scoring, I think, because, I don't know, I think they settled quite well in the first half, but I think as soon as we got like 1 or 2 goals, they just kind of fell apart, and there we go. There is the game over, and Mason Mount does get the match ball. Give him a bit of confidence as well for that next game against Barcelona, so it'll be interesting to see what his fitness is. And yeah, as you can see, we had 11 shots and Everton only had 4. Here we are then for the final game of the episode against Barcelona at the Nou Camp. It's going to be one of those games that you know, they're in the classic Barcelona kit now. We will put Timothy Fosu-Mensah in for Felipe, and as you can see, he has actually grown to an 82 as well. Danny Ings going up to an 81. I don't know if there's been any other growth. It's quite interesting that Danny Ings, you know, is like 31. He's 30 years old at the minute, and he has grown in stats, which is great to see, of course, but wasn't expected. Here we are then for the game against Barcelona at the... it's not called the Nou Camp. Do they not have the licence this year? It doesn't exactly look like the Nou Camp as well. I didn't realise that they removed it from the game. Yeah, we have put Fosu-Mensah into that defence. Hopefully it's a little bit more agile and a little bit more quicker on its feet. Looking at their team, they have made a few changes actually, bringing in Goretzka for Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong goes to right back, taking out Luke Shaw. Sula Lenglet and Grimaldo into Stegen in goal. Pedri comes in at cam, who was suggested, but I think he's just a little bit out of our price range. And then the front three of Messi, Lewandowski and Dembele. So no Trincao. He's actually quite effective against Tagliafico, but it'll be interesting to see how the two Argentinians match up on that side of the pitch. And yeah, it's only a 1-goal deficit, so I'm quietly confident that we could score 2 goals, but it's all about keeping a clean sheet. On to Cabral here in the box. It's all about getting the first goal in these kind of games. Mount's in the box with the shot into the back of the net, and that is what we needed. First 10 minutes, Mason Mount does start it, but it's currently level in terms of goals. But obviously Barcelona would go through on goal difference, and now it's about us scoring. If we score 3 goals, then it goes on whatever. It doesn't matter the away goals then. So we just need to get 2 more away goals. Barcelona can, ideally I want to keep a clean sheet, but they're going to score at some point. But we have got off to a very, very good start, and gives us a very good chance. And it's the Bayern Munich game just gave me so much confidence that our team is much better than I thought it was. We are top of the Premier League, so we're obviously doing very well. Sula's with the ball here, on the edge to Mount. Can he get this shot? Have we done it? We've done it. We're into the lead. We need 1 more goal. I don't know what is going on. It feels like the Bayern Munich first leg. That's what this game feels like. But the home game that we just played against Barca, that is a lovely bit of space for Mason Mount. And obviously, that hat-trick in the last game just gave him the confidence to get these 2 goals to start this game. And, it's just... we're in dream world at the minute now. Don't concede a goal and we go through to the Champions League semi-finals. I'm a bit... I don't get... I genuinely do not understand the difficulty on this game, because we beat teams like Bayern Munich and Barcelona, but Bristol City and even Harrogate Town we had to go to penalties to. They were incredibly difficult games, and I don't know if there's I don't know. It's super complicated to explain, but I wish I did understand it a little bit better. Burden to Mount. Can he go through and score with his left foot? Mason Mount. What a man. What a man Mason Mount is. And we've made it level on away goals now. So it's irrelevant that if Barcelona level it, I think. I hope I don't do the same thing that I did against Inter Milan, where I thought, it just goes on to goal difference. It's a really nice goal. That left foot now has got really, really good now that he is 88 rated. But it would be nice to obviously get as many goals as possible and just ensure it doesn't go level, and I just don't have to worry. Chance here for Mount. As you can see, Barcelona going on the attack now. Slipped across for Cabral, and there's 4, and that is should, with 30 minutes to go, a 3-goal. I doubt Barcelona is going to score 3 goals in the next 30 minutes because they've been really poor. And I'd love to know the logic behind, playing on ultimate difficulty, and why this game is just so much easier compared... I don't know if it's because of the tactics they're playing compared to the first game. Because in the first game they had Luke Shaw at right back, Frankie de Jong in the midfield, Messi at centre forward, centre attacking midfield in the last game was really good. But as you can see in this game, just really poor. So it's weird, it's weird that they did well in the first game, winning the away game, changing it for the home game, and it's clearly not worked, and we've definitely capitalised on it. Can actually make some changes now if I want to. Probably bring on a winger, I guess, for Ismail Sarr. Through for Dembele. Would be nice to keep the clean sheet, and that's a ridiculous save. I don't know how Handanovic has saved that there. I'm just going to watch this back because I just didn't... It might have been going wide anyway, but it was a ridiculous hand to get to it. But with 10 minutes to go, I very much doubt they're going to score 3 goals. Although they have scored 1. If they somehow score 2 goals in the last 10 minutes here, I will be absolutely fuming. It is Goretzka with the goal to make it 4-1. But I just do not want them to score 2 more goals. And to Messi. See, they've put... I don't know what they've done, to be honest, but Messi seems a lot more central now. Just trying to hold it off and not let them put the ball in the middle. It's gone into Verratti in the box. Now to Pjanic. And there we go, full time against Barcelona. We do win the game by a couple of goals. Mason Mount with another hat-trick. 2 hat-tricks in this episode for him. And he's made all the difference in the last couple of games to ensure we go through to the Champions League semi-final, which I just didn't think I'd ever be saying this season. But yeah, at the start of the season when we did sign him, I wasn't that convinced, but ever since the turn of the year, he's been ridiculously good. I think joining us as in the semis are PSG Manchester City and one of Liverpool or Juventus. So obviously the next team we do play against is going to be another ridiculously tough game. So let's have a look and see if the next round has been drawn. It is against Paris Saint-Germain. Very good team indeed. And again, it would be, I don't know, I guess we got a big break before the PSG game, which is nice. Means we can play our first team against Southampton. But I guess we'll just play a second team against Crystal Palace at home, which should be okay. But yeah, there isn't very long left in this career mode now. We've only got, one more episode. So there's probably only 2 more episodes until the end of the season. And at the minute, we are top of the table by 1 point, but Liverpool do have a game in hand. So that can all change, of course. I guess they did win against Chelsea. They did 2-1, but it's what they do in that game in hand that really will define the season. And if they drop any points at all, then great for us. But we do get some extra Champions League money. It does say allocated for the coming season, so maybe that's, I don't know, maybe we just got the Ramsdale money in January. I'm still completely confused about that. But as you can see, Cabral is slowly chasing Raheem Sterling. There's a couple of goals in it. Would be nice to get him the Golden Boot again. Not as many goals as last season, but obviously those goals have been distributed to the Champions League. I must say though, Fosu Mensah I think will go into the team now. I think the issue with, I think Felipe is a great centre back, but the pace is just kind of causing some goals. But it's kind of a case by case kind of thing. What depends on the opponent and the style of play they do. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. I will quickly just check who's in the other semi-final, just to see if we somehow beat PSG, who will play in the final. It will be either Man City or Juventus. Both of them obviously very good teams indeed. Obviously we've got the likes of Neymar and Mbappe to stop in this next game, so it doesn't get any easier. And you never know. Like the fact that we've beaten Bayern Munich and Barcelona now kind of gives me the hope that we can beat anyone. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Make sure you do leave a like rating if you did enjoy it, and see you soon. Bye.